Well, Tennessee's home. I guess I'm happiest here, if not Alabama. And there's a lot of independent promotions throughout Tennessee that I have wrestled for. I'm not choosy. I'll wrestle for any of them. So it's part of a business that I'll take seriously, and like I said, I'll wrestle for any of them. And I always try to make the best of it. You mentioned earlier that a lot of the guys had bad feelings about the business, and I understand why. It ain't always roses. It wasn't always roses for me either. But
no.
When I weigh it out on the scales, the good outweighs the bad, and I really don't have any regrets. It's been an exciting career.
Very good. Okay. Daryl, go ahead.
All right, you competed in a match for the PCW title. Can you tell us about that?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, no problem. You competed in a match for the PCW title. Can you tell us about that?
The match that we won them against the Harlan Heat?
Yes, I think that's what he's talking about.
It was a tough match. The Heat, they some big, powerful men, and you don't just grab a hold of one of them and throw him anywhere that you want to.
Yeah.
They was having an off night, and me and Dirty Dick Slater was having a good night. We got lucky, and we beat them. So it's a wonderful feeling, to be able to wear them tag team belts. You never know, what to expect in them kind of matches. But, the Heat's some big old strong guys. They were tough boys. You didn't knock them down too easy.
Yeah. What do you think of the independent wrestling scene today?
Well, it's nothing like it was when I started. And the independent thing is just guys that want to be wrestlers and promoters. They're not really going to go anywhere, I don't think, unless they got a ton of money. But you got to follow your dreams. It's what everybody says. If you want to be a promoter wrestler, a lot of the young guys that's coming up today are come from independent wrestling promotions.
Oh yeah.
And they some of them have that dream of making it to New York City one day up there at WWE, and some of them will. A lot of them won't. But I don't have any problem with it. Like I said, it's not the business that it was 20 years ago.
Definitely. Well, we'll go one last round. That way you can get going, because I know you have to get ready to go to a show. So I'll let Jonathan Clark and Daryl go one last question, and then we'll let you go. Jonathan Clark, go ahead.
Oh, my God. If I got to ask one last question, it has to be my famous one. Where do you see yourself in 10 or 15 years? And before you answer that, I have to tell you, almost every wrestler I've asked this question to, and I've asked it to almost over 50 people, and their response is, well, I hope I'm not dead. But where do you see yourself in 10 or 15 years?
Well, I see myself sitting back in my rocking chair, holding maybe a couple of grandkids and watching them play ball like I did my son. And, just try to live a happy, peaceful life and a healthy life.
Okay.
It's very important to have health and happiness in my life. So, I think I got as much out of watching my son play ball as I did all my trips around the world. That was meant a lot to me. So, when you see one of your kids coming up doing good, like my daddy did me, I'm sure that he was very proud of that. And I enjoyed performing for him and doing things like he told me to, because that made him happy. So, I'm hoping to see my boy, man, he's going to have a few ball players that I'm going to get to watch him.
Definitely. And Daryl Malone, go ahead. One last question.
All right, my last question is the question I love asking. Do you have any advice for any up-and-coming wrestler or anybody wanting to become a wrestler?
it's like I said, if it's a dream, you know, if it's something that you've always lived for, then you got to go for it. You give it a shot. If you're going to decide that you're going to do something, give it all you got. Got to be patient. Takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day. You know, and try to find you a guy that's been around like me, that's been in the business for 20 years or better, to show you what to do. Maybe go to one of the schools. I know Tom Pritchard, a guy that I've known for years, is probably running that school down in Tampa. You know, if you can get in one of them schools, then you ought to have it made. You know, wrestling business has been here for years, and it's like a roller coaster ride that's up and down, but it don't ever seem to die. So, you know, if that's what you think you want to do, then go for it.
Definitely. And I'd like to thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and we'll let you go so that you can go get ready for the show.
All right, I'll be in touch, huh, Corey?
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. All right.
Bunkhouse Buck bowing out right there.